Hello, my name is Amy Tackett, and I did my product development lab on some different variations of blueberry muffins. My objective for this lab was to test different formulations of blueberry muffins. In particular, I wanted to look at doing a gluten-free blueberry muffin and possibly do a reduced sugar version. I have some personal friends that have kids with celiacs, and they struggle with finding some good cake mixes and things of that sort to make, simple things like blueberry muffins. And so I thought that would be a great place to start, doing this product development lab. So I made 3 different formulations. I did one standard low ratio blueberry muffin. I did a low ratio muffin where I fully replaced the gluten-free flour, the bread flour with the gluten-free flour. And instead of the, sucrose or regular sugar, I used parts, a little bit of monk fruit sweetener and honey. And I'm just kind of looking at the viscosity and seeing if, how that would work. And then the last variation, I did a gluten-free muffin with only the monk fruit sweetener. It is supposed to be a 1-for-1, and I've heard some good things and I've heard some bad things about it, so I was just interested to see how it would perform. So here are my formulas, broken down in baker's percentage and in grams. So as you can see, we did the standard control. I started with 200 grams of bread flour, and then I just fully substituted with all-purpose gluten flour. I did the honey, and I broke it down to make sure that I calculated decreasing the water, since I was adding honey instead of using the sugar. So those were my formulations here. Looking at the batters, the control batter, was very familiar, and it was a thick, high viscosity batter, and it poured into the cups, and it was just thick. But the other two with the gluten-free flour were thick, but they were both fluffy and stiff. It was almost like a cookie batter, but fluffier. It's the only way I can really describe it. And it wasn't necessarily bad, it was just, it didn't really form to the cups. It felt like it was going to be more of a scone / biscuit. And so we look at how it baked. That's pretty much exactly how it turned out. So our control, had a nice peak, nice volume as it baked, and actually rose. The other two did not. There was a little bit of rise, but it did not really change much in form. It didn't seem like. It almost just kind of stayed put where it was. And you can definitely tell the color differences. This one had the honey, the one in the center, and the one on the far right had just the monk fruit sugar. So to me, of course they don't look bad, but it does look more like a scone / biscuit than it does a muffin. And when I evaluated the muffin and we did some measurements, the control muffin was 5 centimeters tall, and so it had a nice rise. The gluten-free with the honey and the monk fruit had a denser texture. Obviously, you can see how open the control is with the crumb and the grain. And this one looks almost more like a bread. It still was kind of soft in the middle. It had a nice crunch on the outside because of the browning reaction with the honey. But overall, it wasn't a bad muffin. In this one, I believe, was 4.4 centimeters high. And then the last one, the gluten-free flour with just the monk fruit, the 1-for-1 substitution, was a 4.2 centimeters. So this one was the smallest of the two, and I wonder if it's because I'm not sure if it was because of the honey, but I would still like to play with this a lot more, because I think for a first start, this was pretty good. And the overall flavor, here's my score sheet. This might be kind of difficult to see, but my overall score, of course, the control was the best one. I had coming in at a 96, and the only reason why, it was a little uneven color, uneven symmetry, but had some holes and tunnels. But overall, it was just a really good muffin. The second one with the gluten-free honey and the monk fruit sweetener, like I have up here, the batter was thick and fluffy, but it was stiff. Both of these were dense. This one, of course, had the darker crust, and it did have a nice flavor. You can actually taste the honey. So I used probably too much honey in that formulation, obviously, with the browning. And you could probably balance that out again, but I felt like the third option with the 1-for-1 monk fruit was not a bad choice, because it performed well as far as flavor and color. It looked, I'm going to go back to this other slide. To me, it looked, more similar to the control than the middle one did. The thing I think we need to look at is possibly messing with the flour to water ratio, and it could be, I need to look at the protein content in that gluten-free flour and see if I can play with that a little bit. We may need to do something different with the leavening agents, and but I don't think we're off track here. I think this is a really good option for, my friend to start with and say, this isn't really going to be a muffin at first until we can play with it some more. It'll be more like a scone / biscuit, but the flavor was great. I thought it, I was impressed. I was actually thinking it was going to come out a little bit more bitter, because, on the package it says it's 1-for-1 for sugar, good for beverages, good for things, but it never said it was good for baking. And so I was a little, I was a little scared putting that into a bakery product, but it seems like it worked really well. So I have some other, so in conclusion, I feel like I did achieve my objective, but I do want to play with this some more and do some further research. And hopefully, next time I get to visit my friend, we can play with this in the kitchen, and we have the formulas here to play with. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and I wanted to let you know I really enjoyed this class. I learned a lot, and it's been just a great experience. Thank you very much.